When developing a website, custom website design, it makes sense to take a look at a couple of different components or facets, no matter what type of website that you're looking to create. I'd start with usability. You want to create a site that, as I said earlier, you've got the goals to your site. One of the goals is to create a website that provides the information that your customers are looking for. Well, you want to make sure that they're able to find it. And some of that usability just comes in terms of, I used to always say, have your great aunt look at your website. When your great aunt looks at your website, can she tell you what you do? Can she tell you how she's going to make a phone call to you? Can she figure out how to email to you? And I have to say that it still rings true to some degree. It's very funny. Again, I deal with a lot of folks who are in the high-tech sector, who work in manufacturing, and sometimes they want to get right to the chase of it, but they forget to talk a little bit about sort of the basics about what they do. And just a quick 1 or 2 line sentence about this is what we do. I worked with someone who they did fertilizer, and they didn't really want to put that on their site for some reason. I finally said, you have to say you sell fertilizer. Otherwise, the rest of this description makes no sense. It makes no sense. And you need to do that both in terms of usability. If I want to buy fertilizer, I want to see that on that first page. In fact, Jacob Nielsen does a lot of research on usability, and he'll talk about there's kind of an F scan that people make. What they'll do is they'll read the headline, and then they'll start, like you have a picture of an F. They'll read the headline, and then they start to read like this. They're just going to read that top corner of your website. So putting all the most valuable information there makes a lot of sense. The other thing is that helps with search engine optimization. Search engine optimization really is based on 4 factors. It's the words that you use on the page, using those smart keywords on the page. It's making sure that you have links to your site. It's the freshness of content, and making sure that your website downloads quickly. If you don't have fertilizer on your website, then somebody searching for fertilizer is never going to find you. So what's nice about the usability is it does fit into a lot of other kind of multi-purposes for the site as well. The other thing that I think makes sense to take a look at is some of the usability in terms of the ADA. Especially if you know that your client base may have some disabilities. Creating a site that is accessible for people with disabilities also helps in terms of search engine optimization and making sure that everybody is better able to use your website. One of the key things that I often see is that people will convey a lot of information in graphics. And that's fine if the person looking at you can see that graphic. But it gets lost to anybody using sort of assistive technology from that perspective. So it's very funny, I often will notice that the one term left off somebody's homepage is their own business name, because where is it? It's in the logo. That can't be read with somebody using assistive technology, can't really be read by a search engine. Often I think it's worth the time to have somebody, if you've had a new website or say you're just taking a look at having your website refreshed, have somebody in the office click through to make sure everything works. Are all of those links still good? I guess I'm going to put that under the bucket of usability, but it's just sort of making sure that your information is right. Did you move? Do you have the new address? Just making sure that that information is correct. The other thing that I think, so we've got usability. No matter what your website wants to do, you want to make sure that it's usable. No matter what your website goal is, I think you want to make sure that you have good content there too. And again, that usability and that content kind of go hand in hand, but it comes down to providing the information that people want to get and providing it again in a user-friendly way. Sort of talked about Jacob Nielsen and his F pattern, but also remember that people are scanning those pages. All of a sudden, bullet points make a lot more sense than dense paragraphs. You know, you may have been the best writer in all of the junior high, but you want to cut that way back. People are not looking generally to read a lot, especially with the prevalence of video. You know, a lot of it is people are actually moving to watching some of the video. That being said, I think it often makes sense to have a combination of the two. Another part of the website strategy is maintenance. How much time and effort you want to put into making sure that your website is up to date, putting new information on the website. And I run into some folks who are very eager to do that. I run into some folks who know that they will never do it.
Hi, I'm Christine with Great Business Content. Having time to complete all your important tasks is hard enough. How will you find the time for those boring projects that still must get done? Consider using VWorker. VWorker will find contract workers from across town or across the world. Simply create an account, place a project to be bid on, then select the most qualified and affordable worker. All payments are held in escrow until the job is complete. Click on the screen button or find VWorker on the store page of this website.
And then I think you have to be very honest with yourself and say, all right, so am I looking then at having kind of a brochureware website? Do I just want to have a basic information that's just got that location, hours, that kind of information out there? That kind of page can be valuable. As I said, the search engines look at how often a website is updated. So if you want to do well with the search engines, I think it's vital to create some kind of maintenance site, a maintenance plan. You need to be able to make updates. For some people, that's making sure that they're able to get into the back end of the system and they can make their changes themselves. For some people, what it is it's finding somebody who will make those changes for you. I work with some folks and they'll say, will you update our website once a month, once a week? And some of those folks will send me information. All right, we got a basketball game on Thursday. Will you post that? We're going to have a sale on Friday. Will you please post that? Some people say, here's my industry. Can you find something to post every week? I find that one good way to try to get people to make regular updates to do that maintenance on their website is I try to tie it into a newsletter too, where either the nature of their industry is that they've got to have that regular information. So I think the first thing is, how often do I want to maintain it? Honestly, am I going to be that one to maintain it? Or am I going to have to find someone who can post those website updates for me? Am I going to have to find somebody who can make those websites, create those updates for me? Once you realize that, well, then it's easy to come up with a strategy.
Hi, it's Christine again. Thank you for watching our video presentation. There will be many more small business videos that will be presented on our website. Be sure to subscribe and stay up to date with the informational videos, plus our weekly interviews with small business owners. You don't want to miss the business tips that they share. Simply click on the screen link and fill out the form. It's that simple.